Alright. 1 hour later. Sorry guys for the 8 videos on this. So this is, again, like minimal texturing. There's nothing really interesting going on the table, no bump maps, no anything like that. It's pretty much just diffuse in all of the textures, and then like slider values for the rest. I did actually model, that's just modeled in with like ZBrush or whatever. So this is like absolute minimum requirement for texturing is like decent looking displacement maps. You can see I've tried very poorly, but I've tried to sort of blend the texture here in with the ink, like the actual ink. So it looks like there's, like, you know, kind of some transition between the two. And then this is the quote-unquote good version, where it's a little bit more detailed. You can see I have some bump maps on the wood, I have some bump maps on this metal texture. I've gone through and also done a little bit of post-processing, added some kind of interesting sheen, epoxy coating, whatever, to the wood, as well as some bump maps under the sheeny epoxy coating. I've done, Sketchfab is really weird with liquids and stuff like that, so I did something theoretically nicer for this that I spent way too long on. But in terms of the paper and such, theoretically, I know I have one on there, it's just like not super showing up a lot right now, but I do have a little, like, very slight bump map that's kind of hard to see, and I have, if I can get the light to shine across it, you can see that, like, the sheen on the ink. For one, the paper ink itself is shiny, and then the text itself is shiny as if this was like wet ink. So I did the thing, or at least I was trying to do the thing where like this is written first, it dried first. I forgot I wrote a really mean note on this. And then this is sort of the wettest, raised, shiniest ink of all. But yeah, so I'm not sure if this helps super a lot with the texturing assignments that you guys will be doing, but I just thought it was kind of interesting to maybe like things to consider and like practical examples that I'd personally done or something. If I were to go back and do this in the future, what I'd probably do is add, you can see, I mean, I've actually modeled in little chunks of ink because I'm an idiot, and I just prefer modeling stuff to texturing, but I'd probably add a little bit more ink to this. The amount I have is like unrealistically small. And then I would also probably add some like ink smudgies up here, maybe some little finger marks, perhaps scratches in the wood, maybe whoever owns this pen chews on it, something like that. A few, what the heck have I done to this glass? Looks really weird. You know, maybe it would be cool to have a little bit of like a lip smudge or something on here, somewhere where they've, you know, drunk some of the beverages or like condensation. Apparently I've added ink splatter. It's been a while since I looked at this. But yeah, so I guess just sort of like things to consider when you're doing stuff. And then this I just neglected entirely, and I was like, it should have some kind of label or scratching or staining or something. It just sort of exists now. But yeah, so I'm not sure if that was at all helpful. Hopefully it was, at least a little bit. But yeah, so I mean, for the pen, and this is sort of the minimum I would expect for if you're doing textures without like specific refined texture maps in it, you know, stuff like scratches. This is kind of the minimum I would expect, is like, you better have nice generic wood textures, like nice looking wood grain. You know, if this is supposed to be like wrought iron or whatever the heck it is, you know, it has that look, and it is more than just slider values. So yeah.